Have you ever been sitting on your couch late at night when the whole house is completely silent? The only sound is the gentle hum of the refrigerator or the wind brushing against the window pane. Your dog is resting right by your feet, breathing softly and deeply. And then suddenly, everything changes. Their ears twitch, their eyes snap open. They stand up slowly, stiffly, and lock their gaze onto a completely blank, empty corner of the room. They just stand there frozen, like a statue staring into the void. You call their name, but they do not look at you. They are completely hypnotized by something that you cannot see. A sudden chill runs down your spine. You look at that empty corner, and your mind starts playing tricks on you. You wonder if there is a ghost or some dark spiritual presence lingering in your home. You might even feel a wave of panic and pull your dog away from that spot. If you have ever felt that cold knot of fear in your stomach, you are absolutely not alone. Welcome to where we decode the secret language of your furry best friend. I am here to tell you that you do not need to be afraid. Today, we are going to erase that fear with the beautiful, illuminating light of science and a deeply touching truth about your dog's boundless love for you. By the end of this video, you will understand the invisible sensory world. Your dog lives in the exact physiological shift that happens inside their body in that frozen second, and the heartbreakingly beautiful reason why they choose to stand guard at that specific empty corner. But before we get to the core reason that will completely change how you look at your dog, we must first talk about the biological superpowers they possess. We often forget that when we brought these wonderful creatures into our human homes, we essentially invited a marvel of evolutionary engineering to live with us. That blank wall might look completely dead and silent to your human eyes and human ears. But to your dog, that wall is alive. It is buzzing with an overwhelming amount of information. Let us talk about their hearing first. Human beings have a fairly limited range of hearing. We can pick up sounds up to about 20,000 hertz. But your dog, depending on their specific breed, can hear frequencies up to 45,000 or even 60,000 hertz. They possess the ultimate ultrasound radar built right into those adorable floppy or pointy ears. When your dog is freezing and staring at that corner, they are likely listening to the microscopic symphony of the unseen world. They can hear a tiny insect, like a termite or an ant, crawling inside the drywall. They can hear the high-pitched frequency of a power outlet. They can hear water slowly moving through a pipe deep within the foundation of your house. They can even hear the muffled footsteps of a neighbor walking in the house next door, or the subtle vibration of an elevator moving 3 floors down. What looks like a ghost to you is simply an acoustic reality that is entirely inaccessible to your human biology. And then there is their sense of smell. It is not just about hearing. Their nose is a highly complex chemical laboratory. While you have about 6 million olfactory receptors, your dog has up to 300 million. When they stare intently at a seemingly empty space, they might actually be visually tracing a microscopic scent trail carried by a tiny draft in the room. A draft so incredibly subtle that the hair on your arms does not even register it. They can smell the lingering scent of a mouse that passed behind the wall hours ago. They can smell a change in the barometric pressure seeping through the window cracks, hinting at a coming storm. When your dog is staring at nothing, they're not seeing a spirit from another realm. They are actively gathering and processing an immense amount of environmental data. They are reading the invisible currents of the room. They are analyzing a reality that our human bodies are simply too limited to perceive. But knowing that they are sensing something invisible still does not explain why they look so intense, and sometimes even a little bit scary when they do it. The reason we get spooked is because of the sheer intensity radiating from their bodies. Their posture changes completely. This brings us to a fascinating physiological shift that happens deep inside them. You see, that intensity is not fear. It is extreme readiness. If you were to gently place your hand on their back, During one of these staring episodes, you would feel something incredible. You would notice that their muscles are completely taut and tense, like a coiled spring. Their heart rate has suddenly elevated. Their breathing might even stop for a few agonizingly long seconds as they focus every ounce of their energy on that one spot. Their tail goes completely stiff. They are experiencing a micro spike of adrenaline. Their nervous system has instantly flipped a switch, taking them from a state of deep relaxation into a tactical defensive mode. They are not terrified. They are mobilized. They are on high alert. Now, we must ask the most vital question of all. Why that specific corner of the room? Why do they freeze right there and right now, when the rest of the house feels so incredibly safe and peaceful to you? To truly understand this profound behavior, we have to take a journey back in time. We have to look far past the plush orthopedic dog beds, the squeaky rubber toys, and the ceramic food bowls. We have to connect deeply with their ancient ancestral roots, because deep within the biological DNA of your sweet loving companion, beating quietly inside their chest, lies the ancient fierce soul of a wild wolf. For thousands of years, their wild ancestors had to survive in unforgiving environments. They lived in harsh, freezing forests and vast open plains where survival was never guaranteed. In the wild, the survival of the pack depended entirely on their collective ability to protect their shared resources from dangerous predators. Their territory was their entire life. It meant warmth, it meant food, it meant the survival of their pups. And embedded deep within your dog's genetic code, passed down through countless generations, is a powerful, reflexive condition. It is a primal, undeniable instinct to protect the sacred boundaries of their safe space. When you bring a dog into your human home, they do not just see a house made of bricks and wood. They see the ultimate den. They see the safe haven for their pack. And you are the undisputed center of that pack. You are their most precious resource. You are the source of all their joy, their food, their comfort, and their deep emotional connection. You are quite literally their entire world. That blank wall they are staring at with such intense focus is not just drywall paint and shadows to them. It is the outer perimeter of your shared territory. It is the critical boundary line between the safety of the warm, glowing den and the unpredictable, chaotic dangers of the dark, outside world. When your dog suddenly freezes and locks their eyes on that empty corner, they're essentially patrolling an invisible fence. They are conducting a highly sophisticated and silent perimeter scan. They are actively using their superhuman hearing and their incredibly sensitive olfactory receptors to detect any microscopic anomaly that might threaten the peace of your shared den. They are standing guard in the dead of night. They are not looking at a ghost or an evil spirit that wants to hurt them. They are intensely analyzing a potential microscopic invader. It could be a strange, unfamiliar vibration echoing through the concrete. It could be a sudden, sharp shift in barometric pressure, signaling a severe weather event. Or it could be the distant, unfamiliar footstep of a stranger walking down the street a block away. They are gathering all this invisible data at lightning speed to decide if this unseen force is a threat to the person they love the most. You. This is where we as humans often make a heartbreaking misunderstanding. We look at their intense, stiff posture, their unblinking eyes, and we instantly project our own human anxieties and fears onto them. We assume they are terrified of something supernatural lingering in the room. We might even scold them gently or nervously, pull on their collar, trying to break their intense focus and bring them back to reality. But the truth is, they are not experiencing fear in the way we think of it. They are experiencing a deep, overwhelming sense of duty. They are experiencing a massive burden of responsibility. And this brings us to the most profoundly touching revelation of all, a truth that will permanently change the way you look at your furry best friend from this day forward. We often think they are just giving us a spooky scare when they stare into the dark void of the room. But the emotional reality is that they are actively sacrificing their own peaceful rest to guarantee yours. I want you to try to imagine for a moment what it is actually like to live inside their sensory world. Imagine living in a modern concrete and glass environment where you can hear every single pipe rattling and hissing in the walls. Imagine an environment where you can smell every single particle of dust shifting in the air and where the sensory input is constantly flooding your brain without a single moment of true silence. It must be utterly exhausting for them. Yet despite this overwhelming flood of constant biological information, they try so incredibly hard to remain calm, to be a good boy or a good girl for you. When your dog suddenly stands up from a deep, comfortable sleep, leaves the warm, cozy spot right by your side, and freezes staring intently at the wall, they are putting themselves directly on the front line. They are willingly and bravely stepping into the path of that intense sensory overload. They could easily just keep their eyes closed and continue dreaming, but their love for you will not let them. They are taking on the heavy burden of the unknown so that you do not have to worry. They are actively monitoring a potential risk on your behalf. In their own silent language, they are saying to you, I hear something out there in the dark, and I do not know exactly what it is yet, but please do not worry, I am watching it for you. I will not let it get close to you while you rest. So the next time you're sitting on your couch late at night, reading a book or watching television, and you see your sweet, loyal companion staring intensely at a blank wall, do not let that cold chill run down your spine. Do not pull your blanket up to your chin. Erase that fear completely. Do not feel spooked. Do not assume there is a ghost haunting your living room. Instead, I want you to look closely at their rigid protective body and feel a massive, overwhelming surge of gratitude. That seemingly empty space they are looking at is actually the silent sound of your safety being actively and fiercely guaranteed. It is the physical, breathtaking manifestation of a love that is so deep, so pure, and so fiercely protective that it completely transcends our limited human understanding. They are using the incredible biological superpowers of their ancient species to watch over you while you are vulnerable. They are your very own invisible guardian. They love you so much more than they love their own comfort and peace. Thank you so much for joining me today on this deeply emotional and scientific journey into the beautiful, complex mind of your companion. I truly hope this deep dive helps you see that silent, eerie staring moment in a completely new and profoundly warm light. If this revelation touched your heart and changed the way you look at your loyal dog, please take a moment to share this video with another pet parent who might be getting spooked by their own invisible guardian. Leave a comment down below and tell us about the strange random things your dog stares at in your house. And please do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to OWN so you never miss another chance to decode the secret, beautiful language of the animals we love so much. But wait, before you go, did you know that the specific direction your dog's eyes are looking when they are supposedly fast asleep and dreaming actually reveals exactly who they trust the absolute most in the entire room? The secret language of their deep resting state is even more shocking and heartwarming than you could ever imagine. We will decode that incredible mystery in the very next episode. Stay tuned, and I will see you next time, right here on OWN.